and welcome back to the Universe Podcast. I'm your host, Teagan Elliott, and today I am joined by special guest, Joe Jones, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Joe.
Good.
Welcome to...
I don't know why I just said good.
You are not the first person to do that. Oh, no, previous guest, someone else did that as well. So you're not the... I was just saying hello, but...
Oh, good. I always say that to loads of people as well that I speak to. I'm like, yeah, good. And like, I realise that they haven't said anything to prompt me to say good, and I'm like, I'm just going to leave now. Like, it's really bad. I don't know. It's quite bad.
Well, Joe and I know each other because we lived together last year.
I live there.
I think you're the first person on the pod to have lived with me now for 2 years. This is your second year with me.
Yeah.
Yay!
Have you had anyone else on from last year?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I've asked the co-presidents of James College, who we used to live with, to come on the pod.
Together?
Well, yeah, so I think I'll have because I only have 2 mics.
Right.
And they're co-presidents, so I was going to have like one half for one half of the episode and then one half for the other.
Yeah.
And then they can talk shit about each other in like a jovial manner. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
That's my current plan. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing my Middlesbrough jersey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Of the borough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're from Middlesbrough.
Well, yeah, I say that I'm from like just outside of borough in a village. So, yeah. It's...
Joe, that's so cute.
I don't understand your
You're from a village.
obsession with villages.
No, because you're like a villager.
What,
You're like, do you
Minecraft?
want some emerald? You're a villager.
Oh, you just had someone on from the Red Guy, didn't you? So,
Yeah, she is for next week's episode. Yeah. Well, today I want to talk to you a little bit about the fact that you do rowing.
Yeah.
I know you talk about rowing a lot, and as someone who used to row, I understand because I used to talk about rowing a lot.
Yeah.
But
you're like a proper rower.
Yeah, so I mean, I did it in like a little bit in middle school and then high school.
Yeah.
But not all of high school.
Yeah.
Like half. But so I did it. And I know that when you row, that's all you talk about because it's your life. It becomes your social life, everything. You wake up, you row, you go to bed, you think about rowing, you stress about rowing, you think about your 5K, your 2K.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about like doing it in second year. I feel like a lot of people, there's this like misconception rather, that like you come into uni and like if you don't do a sport your first year, then like you're kind of fucked essentially.
Not necessarily.
How was it for rowing and how was it for you?
It's good. I really do enjoy it. Like, there's a few first years, but there are also like quite a lot of second years that like start off and do it. But I think I know a third year who regretted not doing it sooner because he's like, oh, I won't get to be a senior because after doing it for a year, you're a novice for a year and then you're a senior unless you've already done it before.
Yeah.
And you're a senior fresh.
Oh, so if I just start now, I'd be a senior.
You could do, but then you wouldn't really know. Anyone.
Yeah, true. I know. Yeah.
So, but if you go in as a novice, like everyone doesn't know each other anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is good. I really do enjoy it. It does take over like your whole life.
Okay, so what is like if anyone's interested in rowing, what is like the weekly schedule like? Like what time do you normally get up? What is it? How often do you erg? What's this like rowing routine?
So for me, it's Monday we have sliders. Tuesday we have a water session.
What is sliders?
So sliders is like you link up like all the ergs basically, and then.
And the erg, for anyone that doesn't know, is like it's a rowing machine. Yeah.
And then basically you don't like move like physically, but you move the erg. It's a bit weird.
Okay.
You have to like.
I've never tried that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good. And then Tuesday and Wednesday are on the water in the morning.
What time do you get up for that?
It depends when it is. Like normally about 6 or 5:30 when it's a bit.
Yeah.
Sooner, and then on Thursday we have the day off because socials are on
Wednesday night.
Yeah. Friday we have a UT1 erg, which is like your like top level heart rate like erg for like 45 minutes or something.
Okay.
It's just like a general fitness erg, and then Saturday and Sunday you're on the water. But yeah, it's really good. And then Tuesday circuits as well in the evening.
Okay.
I have a lecture when that happens.
So it sounds like you're really busy. So, and I know for Wednesday nights, which is normally when uni students in the UK go out, I know that you guys always have themes for your big social nights out.
Yeah.
So I know that tonight, and this obviously drops on a Thursday, so for tomorrow, meaning that you guys will be hanging when this drops tomorrow. Not envious, because I'm not going out tonight. But what's your theme for this evening?
Cops and robbers, but I don't have anything to be a robber.
So how many costumes do you have for all these fun themes?
Too many. It's like, it's quite spenny. Like, you can't really... I don't know. I just couldn't really be bothered to buy another shirt. Like, I need to save a bit of money. Like,
yeah. Well, because how often are you going to reuse these costumes?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have a carrot costume, a pilot costume.
Yeah. Okay, well, so I also want to talk to you a little bit about last year. We lived together.
Yeah.
In James College. That's how we met. So I wanted to know, what was your first impression of me? Meaning, like, you were like, oh, I'm living with an American at uni. I'm just curious, like, what was the first impression?
So, we all, like, gathered on, like, the first or second floor, like, landing area. And then we were all talking, and then someone said, oh, yeah, there's, like, an American in the house. I was like, well, what? There's an American in the house? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then we all, like, piled down the stairs and knocked on your door. And then you opened the door. And you're like, oh my God, hi.
And I was like, what? I was like, and then you all were like, oh, like, we're going to go, like, to the meeting.
That was so awkward.
And then I was like, just like,
awkward.
okay, I'm going to put on my shoes. 1 sec. And I was so scared to speak initially when I first moved here. Because I was like, I feel like it was going to take the piss out of me for being American and just make fun of me. I was going to feel bullied and all this stuff. So I was really scared initially moving here.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was scared to speak. So I remember being really quiet. But then also, I'm also a very chatty person. Hence, I have a podcast.
Well, yeah.
Like, I obviously like to talk a lot.
Exactly.
So I remember being at, like, this first meeting everyone dinner type thing where we all got food.
We all sat in, like, the little cafe bit of the,
yeah,
like, place where we eat. And then we all sat in a circle, all 12 of us. It was really, really awkward. Like, I was trying to, like, make conversation and no one saying anything.
Well, I was trying to, even though I was trying not to speak. Yeah. But no one was saying anything, so I was talking. But I do remember, I do give everyone credit for this, is no one pulled out their phone. No one went on their phone to start texting or go on Instagram or Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, in Seattle, tech is such a big part of everyone's daily lives. You never would be in a group setting in Seattle where someone's not on their phone. Everyone's on their phone constantly.
Yeah.
And so I remember being really impressed, the fact that no one pulled out their phone.
Yeah.
It's like a core memory.
Yeah. I feel like that's partly because it was a weird, anxious type experience. Like, you didn't really obviously know anyone. I don't know. I feel like James was fun, but it was a bit of a dead college if you weren't part of any socials or anything, because we did tennis. That was awful for socials. I was just like,
yeah,
there were nice people there, but it's just rubbish for socials. And I feel like you experience if you don't, I feel like you need to throw yourself out there, like,
yeah,
and you need to for at least maybe first year, you need to, like, almost, this could sound bad, you need to, like, act like someone you're not, because then it in and of itself, that, like, you realise, like, I don't know, you just come out your shell.
I'd say, yeah, I wouldn't
like
say
you haven't normally acted, because you don't know anyone.
Don't act like a different version of yourself, but I'd say just, like, be a little, like, come out of your shell more.
Yeah,
but still be yourself, because you want to connect with people that are your people. Yeah. You don't want to, like, be someone you're not and then have friends at the end of the day that you're like, why am I friends with these people? Like, I don't connect with them at all.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, the amount of people, like, you make friends with in first term and then you never speak to them again, it's quite...
I feel like that's pretty normal.
Yeah, no.
Because, like, you're trying to find your people, and you're also trying to figure out who you are and who you want to surround yourself with at the end of the day.
Yeah, true. And I feel like I did enjoy first year, but in terms of the social side of stuff, I feel like I would have done better if I had joined something like footy or something for the social side of stuff, or, like, even rowing, like, first year. But I feel like it is also good to settle in first year, and then second year you know a few people already, and then you can meet new people if you do a sport. But because I feel like that's the only, like, downside of first year, I'd say, for me, was obviously we went out as a house, and we went out with the house for, like,
next year. I felt like we definitely had to split our time and balance our time between hanging out with our house from last year and then we started hanging out with our house from this year, and then I feel like every house has drama. Yeah,
exactly. And then we got annoyed with a few people in our house.
But, like, I mean, I feel like that happens with every house. Like, obviously, if within a house of 15, to get along with every single person, I feel like at the end of the day, it's just not going to happen.
No.
Well, because when you're also thrown in with a random group of people you've never met,
exactly,
the odds of you getting along with every single person is pretty slim.
Exactly.
And so but I mean, it was also good that, like, we met people, and other people in our house also met people outside of the group, and, like, we all made new friends. Like, it wasn't like a we live and die together kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which was good.
No, yeah. It was, I did enjoy it, but I feel like I would have enjoyed it a bit more in terms of social side of stuff if I wasn't part of the society or something.
Yeah. Well, I got really nostalgic. I went to James College. I was actually in our old kitchen because there's a couple of people on James Events Committee who live in our old house. And one of them, she lives in my old room. And so I went in the kitchen, and in the uni houses, like when you leave the kitchen door open too long, it's like a safety hazard, so it starts beeping at you to close it. And if you don't close it after it beeps a couple times, it goes like... It's so annoying, and I was like, I don't miss that. I'm excited to go back to my kitchen where I can take the door, prop it open with a door stop, and just be done.
Yeah.
But she invited me into my old room. And I was like, that's really sweet, but I think I was getting really nostalgic. I was like overwhelmed by the nostalgia and the emotion of like, I lived here. I have memories in this kitchen, and like they're creating their own memories.
Yeah, it like first year's like went fast, but it went slow. I don't know. It's weird, and then it's just like over, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Think we're almost halfway through uni. Like next week's week 5, and then like that's the official half of uni for people doing a 3-year course. It
is pretty mental.
That's gonna make me really sad. Yeah. It feels like it's already flown by.
Yeah, I know, and this is like the thing that everyone sort of like that's been to uni like looks back and like, oh yeah, my days in uni, and then like we're almost like halfway through, and it doesn't really feel like that. And
these are stories people talk about for the rest of their lives, and that's what's crazy to me is like to think that we're in this point that people that in their 40s talk about uni. I mean, hopefully I'm not speaking about it constantly like. Those were the glory days. Like, hopefully I've had something better in my life since then, or something to compare, like, just at a different stage in life.
Exactly.
But this is something people talk about, like, you see movies about, films about, like, in the coming-of-age teenager stories.
But because of that, though, I feel like there's a certain pressure to, like, oh, you have to have fun, like, all the time. Like, or you have to have fun when you go out and, like, in this certain situation. I don't know, it's just, you feel like you have to. Well, to some... respect, if that makes sense. There's a bit of pressure on that because you're like, oh, like they've had such a good time, and if you're not having a good time, you're like, oh, I should be having a good time. Yeah, I'm doing it wrong. Like, because uni for some people can be like a really lonely place. It's either great or like it's really lonely. I've seen and I've been told by people, because if you don't find like your right people, which you will eventually, but if you don't find them immediately, it can be quite lonely, which is why I say just try out socials that you're interested in.
Yeah, or societies too.
Yeah, no, that's what I meant. Societies or like or some sort of sport thing that you're interested in, and then you'll like make friends that way. It's really good.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So So we talked about me initially moving in, being American, but like, what was your initial just, like impression of it? If I go to school in London, people knowing Americans from that, they'd be like, okay, like, you're not the only one kind of thing. But here, I mean, I know, like, a couple Americans. Like, I don't know more than a handful. So, I mean, was it kind of weird?
Yeah, I don't think... I've met Americans before when I've been to America, but I don't think I've really met someone that came here.
You know, you live with one. Has your American accent improved?
It's always been great.
Oh. Okay, Joe. Has my English accent improved?
Still awful, because there's like not just one English accent, there's multiple.
Oh no, you know what was really funny? So last Wednesday salvos, I went out, had a great time, walked on my walk home, was on the phone to my mom, and like again I remember everything but details were fuzzy. Okay, so I remember calling her, I remember telling her about my night and like things that went down, but then she told me the next morning, she's like, Teagan, you told me the entire story in a bad fake British accent.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did what? And then it kind of was coming back to me. I think I did like a fake like northern accent. Like I tried to speak like you were, Scarlett.
Yeah. Mine's like a bit of a generic northern accent, I'd say. Like sometimes I say no, sometimes I say no. I'm just saying no.
Oh, story time. The first time you called me mush, I thought you were trying to like call me mushy peas. That's the first thing that came to mind, and I was like, why is Joe calling me mushy peas? But I know in German, like my grandfather would call my mom mushli. And I think it's just another like term of endearment. It's like sweet, sweetie, mushli, like that kind of thing. Yeah. So you call me mush. Initially, I thought of...
I mean, it is pretty much...
I was very like hyper British mode, like thinking I'm like, because this was when I first got here. And I was like, okay, like mushy peas, like that's where my head went.
Yeah, there's a lot of like.
And it was just like I remember asking, I was like, what the hell? Well, and like, and my friend Erica had said, she's like, oh, like I just said dinner. I was like, it's a bit early, is it not? Like it's only 4 p.m. She's like, oh no, like by dinner I mean lunch.
Yeah.
And by tea I mean dinner.
Yeah, I say breakfast, lunch, tea, but I know people that say breakfast, dinner, tea. But yeah, dinner's like, for a lot of people I know, dinner's interchangeable with tea and lunch. So I say lunch and tea. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just easy.
Do you ever call it brekkie?
I don't really have breakfast, so.
Yeah, to be fair, I woke up, I felt really, today's been a really crazy day. So I got up, as one does. Really? And I set an alarm for like 8:30. I was like, I'm going to get up, I'm going to go on a run at 8:30. I have nothing on until 11:30. I'm going to get up, go on a run, shower, and then go to my thing.
Did you not go on a run?
Well, I hit snooze, and then my alarm went off again, and I was like, oh, good. I clicked off, closed my eyes. When I opened them, it was 10:55, and I had an 11:30 practical, and I was like, shit. So I got up, brushed my teeth, washed my face frantically. I'm like,
but like I do, sometimes when I'm in a rush, I brush my teeth whilst doing stuff, and then when you're just rushing around, you just have your toothbrush in your mouth, and you're actually brushing.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so then I washed my face super fast, got ready, I got there on time. Go me. But I knew that I wasn't going to have a break between then and like until after this.
Yeah.
Because I had to go from that to then to town because we were filming a video, MySTV, for Cressy Pizza in town.
Who?
Cressy? No?
Don't
It's
know.
this like pizza place. The guy's like from Naples, and he's got this like pizza oven shipped from Naples, and it's like it's a real like pizza oven with fire. It was really nice. I put my hands against it. I was like, oh, this was nice.
Did you not have a pizza?
Well, no. So basically, so he said, oh well, we get there at 1:30, and he was like, great. Well, I can't film making a pizza until we open at 3:30. And I was like, well, cool. I have to be home by 3:30.
Yeah.
So I had to dip early, but then there were the rest of the crew handled.
Why couldn't you
stuff.
just like make one and then give them?
I know.
Was it for free that you did it? Or?
Yeah. So he was gonna give us a free pizza, but I obviously couldn't get one because I had to go. So because I knew this, but he was like, I have to go change into like my chef outfit, at home because so he's like, so I'll be back. Like we go take like a coffee break. So then I went to Cafe Nero and I got a pistachio latte, which in America, Starbucks has the pistachio latte back, and I'm so jealous because it's so good and I'm fuming. It's so good.
I hate nuts in anything really, apart from peanuts.
Anything pistachio, I devour. I'm obsessed. But so Cafe Nero had the pistachio. I was like, great. And then they had this amazing looking blueberry cheesecake in the window. I was like, oh my God. It was like a blueberry muffin cheesecake, whatever. And it looked so good. I was like, I must try. Now, to lay the groundwork on this, I'm not a huge cheesecake person, but every cheesecake I've ever had, people have been like, oh my God, that was an amazing cheesecake. And I've always thought it was like, all right. Like, I thought it was good, but not amazing.
Yeah.
So I just don't think I'm a cheesecake girly, but this looked really good. And I was like, I love anything blueberry flavored. And I was like, this just sent full send. So I ordered it. And why did I choose to get cheesecake at Cafe Nero? I don't know, because it was actually shit. It was actually, Joe, I mean, a bad cheesecake was bad.
Was it spinning?
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about it. But it was bad.
Or like, how big was it?
Oh, the slices in the window looked like they were maybe like this big. And then she gave me one half the size for like $3.50.
How big's that for the people that aren't watching?
Okay, true. If you're not watching, think about like the size of an American dollar bill.
But half of that.
Half of that was what they gave me. But then they made it look like I was going to get the full American dollar bill.
Being scammed.
I was scammed. When you went to America, did you go to the Cheesecake Factory? No, you didn't hear about this?
I went to Florida twice.
They definitely have a Cheesecake Factory.
Went to that breakfast place where you eat ice cream for breakfast. What's it called?
IHOP?
IHOP, yeah.
I've never been.
Never been?
I know. As an American, that's pretty bad. I've never been. I've also never been to Waffle House, I don't think. I've seen them, though.
Don't know. Went to Mackey's, actually. Asked for a chicken legend. They were like, what? Like, chicken legend. It's like, you mean a chicken burger? And then...
What is a chicken legend?
You've had a chicken legend. You've had a chicken legend.
I've seen you get them, but I don't know what it is. Is it a burger?
It's just a...
Or a wrap?
Burger with like a nice bun, and it's just like deep fried chicken.
A chicken burger?
Pretty much. It's like long. It's got lettuce in it.
Stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so then where was I going with this? Cheesecake Factory. Apparently, I think it's like one cheesecake. It's got like a crazy number of calories in it. If you're trying to bulk, you should have cheesecake. What's your go-to drink on a night out now? I haven't been out with you in ages, it feels like.
Whatever is offered to me. Not like if I'm...
Okay, Joe.
Just a Jaeger bomb or like a VK if I'm in a club.
All of the ladies are buying me drinks.
No. A Jaeger bomb or a VK if I'm in a club. But if I'm at one of the bars that does a blue shit, I'll have a blue shit, which is like 3 shots in like this blue weird
soda
liquid with probably about
cancerous
1,000 grams of sugar.
No, it's always really sweet. Like if you're not used to having a lot of sugar, like it will give you.
Yeah, VK is bad for that as well.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm at like a pub before, I'll just have like a pint of Guinness maybe, or like a
Guinness,
double
lad.
vodka Coke or something. I just anything.
You're a Guinness, lad. You always post pictures on your private of you'll drink a Guinness and then you'll drink up to like the line of the G, like you try to do it in one sip.
Yeah, I try and get in between the harp and the G.
Yeah, I always try to go on the line of the G, and so I'll do it, and then I'll send you a picture.
Yeah.
I'm like,
once I got 3 in a row, I was
be
really
proud of me, Joe.
Yeah.
You're a Guinness, lad. Raw.
I used to be like great at it, but I've slacked off since.
But last year, I know that you made a lot of chicken. And I remember I have a video of you just with like half a loaf of ciabatta, some raw spinach, and chicken on a plate.
Healthy.
What has been the go-to meal this year? Do you want to tell the people?
Frozen pizza.
I think if you're rowing though, like, to be fair.
Yeah. To be fair, first term, I haven't made this meal yet. Tomato pasta with chicken and onions and peppers.
You used to make a lot of chicken pasta. We used to share the meals together first year. Because we made to cook on weekends, which was really lovely. Because in America, you have to have your dining dollars. Like, your meals are cooked for you Sunday through Sunday. Like, you get cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day of the week. And you're forced to. Like, you don't get to pick if you want to cook your own meals or not. But so, that's why I was, like, going into the uni experience, I guess I was like, I obviously want my meals to be cooked for me.
Someone did it in our house. They were, like, catered, they had all the food paid for, but they didn't.
And then they didn't eat it though. Yeah.
So like,
if you're a picky eater, I don't recommend doing catered.
Yeah, but there's not. I mean, yeah. To be fair, the RKC wasn't great, but
it wasn't great. No, do you know? Okay, there was this person in our house. He would do food reviews. Do you remember this?
Oh,
and
Jackson,
so he would take pictures of all the meals.
I don't know why he didn't take over the RKC reviews account. He should have done.
It was so funny. I have screenshots of all of them. It was so. It's like a little album on my camera roll because it's so funny. And whenever I need to laugh, I just go through and I just pick one.
One got like a 9 out of 10 once, which is insane. But in terms of like not like the best food you ever had, in terms of RKC
the
level.
RKC scale.
Yeah, the scale. Yeah.
Well, is dining hall ever good? Unless like have you seen the TikToks of the girl that goes like to Yale, and she has like her come get breakfast with me at Yale, and the meals look really good. Remember when I made kale recently? This is so random. That was really good kale. If you guys want to make kale, wash it and everything, and then do olive oil. Oh no, skip the olive oil. Do some like bacon or like streaky bacon, like bits in the bottom. Use that grease to fry up some like onions, garlic, add the kale and some chicken stock. Saute it. It wilts. It gets so good. That's like my mom's kale, and I remade it, and I did it perfectly, and I was very proud of myself.
Wow.
Fun fact.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't really eat too much veg. I'll try to.
Yeah. What was your best night out first year? Or worst night out? Whatever comes to mind first.
Yeah.
Because you and I were the only... It was like you, me, and 2 other people from our house. We went out every night during Freshers Week. We were committed to the cause.
Yeah. And then there was this one guy in our house that was like, I've got to go to my lectures. And then,
during first week.
Yeah, during first week. So all the introductory lectures that you can just miss. Or like, you just go to when you're tired because it's Freshers.
It was really
and then you didn't go to any of the lectures.
After that mattered more.
That mattered, yeah.
That's funny.
And then... I think the best night out I had in first year was... I don't know, it might have been like
there.
right... I don't know if you were, you might have been.
Oh my god.
I think it was like the very last night before I went home. We just went to like bars and stuff.
What I loved, really the best night I think I had with our house from our current year right now, which last year we called the house for next year, was probably when we did Amy Winehand's.
Amy.
It's called Amy Winehands and Edward Ciderhands. Because it's after Edward Scissorhands. Everyone called it Edward Winehands.
It is Edward Winehands.
No, that's not right. If you think it's named after Amy Winehouse, Amy Winehands, and Edward Scissorhands, Edward Ciderhands. That's what it's named after.
Edward Winehands.
No, that's literally not right.
Yeah, whatever. Everyone that I know that goes to the unis...
aka everyone in our house that had it wrong. Just own it. You were wrong.
No, but everyone else that I've spoken to
you
goes
were wrong.
to the other unis called it Edward Winehands.
It's literally not Edward Winehands. It's Amy Winehands. But anyway, I did it with cider because I was very anti-wine. AKA, I'm anti-cheap wine.
Wasn't that bad though. I had like 1.5 in there.
I did like one of like, do you remember? So basically the way the game works is, if you don't know, basically you tape, if you tape 2 bottles, like 1 bottle to each hand, and it's taped around your hand with like duct tape and like massive like tape.
And you can't.
And you obviously can't take it off until you finish the bottle.
And we had to go to the toilet.
And the problem is you have to go toilet, right? Because you're drinking so much liquid, so you either drink it super fast and then you get super drunk and you might throw up if you do throw up. I don't know what that's like. And then or you have to go toilet. So I wasn't gonna drink the wine, so I just did 1 massive bottle of cider and just taped it to both hands.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
And I didn't have to go toilet. I was successful.
So I had to unzip Max's fly.
Yeah, no, basically you'll have to help your friends go to the toilet, and like you're all like, it's a struggle.
Unless you just absolutely neck the wine, but
yeah.
No. I think I got through like 1.5 bottles.
I really want to play it again. It's been a while. I think it'd be fun.
That's good. Yeah.
We should do like a big house night out.
But we didn't go out after though. We just stayed in.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
It was
a stay-in night.
Yeah.
We should do that again. That was fun.
Yeah. Nights in are sometimes better than nights out.
Yeah. Or we could do Amy Winehands or Edward Ciderhands or whatever you want to call it, where we just tape 1 bottle instead so we don't get super drunk, but we can still go out after. I think it'd be fun.
Nah. You have to have 2.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have 2. And it has to be like a good percentage. It can't be like Echo Falls or something, which is what certain people had, which is embarrassing.
I think I did Strongbow cider, but I did the massive one. It was cheap. That was my aim.
Yeah.
It was cheap. It was grim though. Oh no, do you want to know the grim? Okay, so Will, who is my friend that I had on the pod previously, he and I had, because I bought 2 bottles of cider because I didn't know if I would drink both, and since I had that extra one, we did like a salad and wine night one night, and we ran out of wine, but I had cider and I had green apple sours. And we drunkenly were like, this is a great combination. And we mixed Strongbow cider and green apple sours. Joe, the color. I don't know how to explain it to you.
Was it nice?
No! Joe, why do you think Strongbow and green apple sours would be a good combo?
I don't know. Chemically.
Are you okay? Yeah. Do you need help?
I'm fine.
What is okay?
It might be nice. You never know. It's like weird combinations. Like, what is it? Melon and like...
No, do you know what's a weird combination? Did you see those salted egg crackers I bought on the counter? They're like...
It's not a combination though. That's like
no, it's like a sweet wafer with salted egg. Yeah. And as a combination, I think it's supposed to be like an umami.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
But there's that combination. It's like watermelon and something else. Tastes
like
weirdly
tahini,
nice.
like a chili powder type thing.
No, it might be like peanut butter or something. I don't know. Watermelon, something. But I hate watermelon anyway. I hate melon. And I hate cucumbers.
Oh, I love melon. Okay, there was one time where we had this housemate, we did Secret Santa, and Joe gets like repulsed by the smell and taste of cucumbers.
It does, like when someone's cooking it just stinks.
Well, no, like if I eat a salad with cucumber in it, he'll smell it on my breath and be like, you ate cucumber? Like, I know you did. You have like the nose of a dog for cucumbers. It's actually insane. So our housemate for Secret Santa bought him a cucumber. Yeah. And didn't he like put it in your cupboard?
Yeah. And he also bought me San Miguel and, no, not San Miguel, Moretti and something else.
Like he made it up to you. Because it was like a gag gift. It was funny. But then our housemates the other night, they put a cucumber in your cupboard. And when you opened it the next morning, they forgot that they put 2 in. They only thought they put 1 in. So then before they went to bed, they took it out of your cupboard.
They took both out, didn't they? Because I opened
But the next morning you opened it and one was still in there. They forgot.
Oh.
So then you opened it and it was in the other side of the cupboard. So
Did
then
I see it?
No.
Is it still there?
No. Obviously not. This was like a week ago. But yeah, it was really funny.
Well, when I came home, when I
No, this is when you came home one day, like in the morning. You came downstairs, and it had been after like a girls' night.
Right.
And yeah, we put cucumber in your cupboard because it was really funny.
Banter.
But I also said I was not getting involved because you and remember Jackson went to war in our kitchen.
No, it was me and James that went to war.
No, you and Jackson with the milk. So one of his mates stole your cutlery.
I used to prank so many people on the house.
Yeah, no, you would. Okay, Joe was a menace to live with. I don't know why I agreed to live with you again. He would like come, like when I wouldn't go out, you would like come home and like bang on my door nonstop after a night out, and I'd be fuming. And at some point, I refused to open the door. And you'd be like, "I know you're awake now. I banged on your door long enough." And I'd be like, "Fuck."
And then
off.
I'd go out and then be up before you as well. And you'd still be asleep.
I slept a lot. Well, at the end of the year, I don't know why. I was just exhausted. Maybe it was just being in England. It really took a toll on me.
Yeah. But anyway, back to
pranking.
Milk thing.
Milk thing. I'm wearing off on you.
Right, okay. So, what was it? Jackson like nicked my cutlery or something. And then I diluted his milk. Like,
yeah, no, I remember you dumped a bunch out in the sink, and it was like a full pint of milk. Like, it was a big...
No,
like,
I used some. I don't think I...
Well, I just remember you filling it up with water.
Yeah. I used some and then filled it up with water, like bit by bit, and then it would gradually get more diluted. And then he'd get really fuming. He'd be like, "This tastes like water," and I'd be like, "That's what it tastes." I'm like, "Yeah, it does. That's really weird." That's strange.
I was like, I knew what he would do to you, and I knew what you would do to him, and you both would ask me like, "What did he do? What did he do?" And I felt like this awkward person in the middle, and I was like, "Nope, like I can't tell you guys, like I can't betray your guys' trust."
No, you betrayed me.
Well, then I betrayed him too, because I would tell him because then you guys like wear me down.
Prefer more, Teagan.
And you guys would wear me down and be like, "No, like what did he do?" Like genuinely, like I'm fearful to be in the house, and I was like, okay, I was like, well, like he did this, but like don't don't fuck with him back, like end this. And then you both of you didn't listen to me.
He started it.
Complete war.
He started it.
And I obviously wasn't gonna be like a pick me girl, like stop, just stop.
Could have just been on my side. Give me all the ins and outs.
I wasn't on either side. Both of you were being idiots.
It's quite funny though. And then James one time threw cucumber in my room from outside, so I wiped cucumber on his toothbrushes, both of them, just in case he like brushed with one. I was like, that's weird. Use the other one, and then yeah, I like put cucumber under his bed. And then there was that really mean prank that we did to Dan with his tangerines.
No, you guys just loved pranking.
My tangerines.
And you guys, no, I tried to not get involved because like some of them I was like, I'm not trying to make people mad.
And then we hid in Matt's room, and then we could just hear him scream from upstairs, "Who fucked with my tangerines?" It's quite funny though.
And then
we didn't do anything bad. We just arranged them in a funny way.
I didn't know what you guys were doing, but I knew you were doing a prank. And then I think he came downstairs to talk to me about it. And I genuinely was like, I don't know what they did, but like I'm not involved. Like please do not be upset with me.
Please
like, I don't know what's
going
on.
alone.
No, I was just like, please like do not be upset with me. But yeah, you guys loved to prank people by the end. I think we should do scaring pranks in the house. Like if you could scare people. I scared Max the other night. I was really, really proud. I had rolled in the bins from the front of the house and I went into the back. Yeah, and it was like pitch black outside. And I knocked on our like glass like French doors. And he was sitting on the couch. I was like, oh, he could just let me. I don't have to go around the house. It scared him to hear something. And then he said it scared him even more to turn around and see someone actually there. It was like, he said he got scared twice in the span of like 5 seconds. And he was like, I'm not letting you in. Like, you're going around. I was like, this was the whole point of me knocking, though. So I think Caitlin let me in.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I think if we do a scare chart, we can keep track of who scared the most people. I scared you in the kitchen. Do you remember I was sitting in there and you started walking in? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. But they're just like rubbish pranks. I think we should.
I don't want a war, though. It's so tiring.
It's not going to be a war.
Okay. Well, on that note, on the note of peace and no war, I'm going to let you go. Yep, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. And thank you guys so much for listening. You can find this anywhere podcasts can be found, that being Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, all the places. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Universe Podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube at The Universe Podcast. Yeah, thanks guys so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.